Have you ever thought about how the food you eat could actually heal your body?
This is where social media and all the haters out there start screaming because, oh, there's only 25% for protein.
We've been sold this lie. They're saying that if you eat protein, it gives you energy throughout the day.
Everything you put into your mouth is either going to put your body at ease or unease.
Disease.
Unease is disease.
Where's he going?
Start eating by those principles and start seeing changes in just 72 hours.
The weight came off and I felt amazing. I felt energy. Being able to run up and down the steps with the kids.
Wow. I needed that.
Yeah.
You can feel the difference.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Tracy, and with me is...
Hey, I'm Dr. Taj.
And today we're exposing why your food is either healing you or harming you.
It's simple, and we talk about this all the time. It's food is your medicine. So let me begin by sharing something so fascinating from the Harvard Medical School. Ooh, I know Harvard. I went to Penn, so Harvard, whatever. But we should say the Penn School, right? Medical school. But no, the Harvard Medical School. And it's a study about the microbiome.
Okay.
And in 2023, they did this whole research in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and they followed about 100,000 participants over 30 years. And you know what they found?
Tell them what they discovered. Tell us, seriously.
Well, those eating mostly whole plant-based foods.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't say veganism. I didn't say all vegetarian. Mostly whole plant foods. They had 73% lower inflammation markers.
It's pretty interesting. And inflammation is what?
Inflammation, short term is good. Long term inflammation is not good.
Right.
For most of the chronic diseases out there, it's what causes the root. It's a root cause of many of the chronic diseases.
Right, the inflammation.
Yeah, but here's the real breakthrough is that when you start eating by those principles, your body down to the cellular level can start seeing changes in just 72 hours.
Yeah, I've heard that. People saying people with diabetes or even high blood pressure, if they change the way they ate within a week, they should start seeing results. And basically, they have to let their doctors know that they're doing this because their numbers are going to go in such a drastic opposite direction that the medication could affect it. Like the body's like, what's happening to me?
Yeah, or
in a good way.
Or the doctor is going to realize, oh my gosh, this is working so good, the medication. Like, this is fantastic. We're getting great results. And still the thunder from the changes you made.
Oh, but they won't have some type of effect because if your body's regulating itself from eating healthy, it wouldn't have the medications. It will make them feel some kind of way, whether it's dizzy, lightheaded, or whatever, right?
There's definitely side effects. And that's what we talked about from video number 1 about becoming your best doctor.
Yeah.
By being empowered and taking charge of your own health. That means that if you're making this decision to go this route, it's telling your doctor, hey, I'm going this route and I'm going to perhaps get off the medications.
That's my goal, yeah.
That's my goal. Or I'm going to, before you put me on a medication, I'm going to do this. So it's more than just about weight loss. It's total health. So it's like diabetes. You can start to reverse the trend of diabetes in just 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The cholesterol, you can start reversing that really quickly as well.
Yeah, in a week or two, yeah.
Yeah, the weight, it can come off because you're not eating all of the junk. You're eating whole foods, foods that have energy contained in them, the nutrients.
Yeah. So your cells are literally starting to heal in just days, is what we're saying.
Down to the cellular level. That's why with our little program, is complete cellular restoration.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do, restore everybody back to health. Hence the video series, Restore Protocol. You don't restore just at the body level. You restore at the smallest unit of life, which is the cell, to cascade up into the whole body. And that's when the body begins to really start thriving and not just surviving. And that's the power of food as medicine.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So every bite is a choice you make.
Everything you put into your mouth is either gonna put your body at ease or unease.
Yeah, disease.
Unease is disease.
Yeah.
You're gonna survive or you're gonna thrive. Everything you put in your mouth. Now, granted, let's put this in perspective. Now, so if for the year you eat 99% of whole food, plant-based type of diets, and then on your birthday you decide to gorge out on some pie, is that gonna kill you? No, because that 99%, that 99.5% of the whole year is worth more than that 0.5%.
Okay.
So it's making the right decisions more consistently.
Yeah. And it's not saying that you have to live a rigid life too. You have a little treat here and there, but not every day. Every day cannot be Christmas eating, right? Like you cannot indulgently eat every day. That's just not. It's like you can't indulgently spend money every day. Just
You can't, yeah. You got to think food is your medicine. When you start thinking that food is your medicine and we're talking about a cellular level, well, let me ask you this. How does cancer start? Simplistically.
it starts in with the diet, right? What you're eating and your body cannot
Okay.
cellular level, right?
Yeah, it does. But how does it actually like trigger in your body start growing a tumor?
The food you eat, the sugars, and
Well, even
where is he going?
yeah, it starts with one cell malformation.
Oh, in that respect.
And then that tumor starts from that one cell and it becomes a bigger two cells. It becomes 4 cells, 8 cells, and it starts to multiply. And in the right environment, it will continue to become a bigger tumor and can cause more problems by doing things that cancers can do. So if you start thinking about health at that level of the cell, you start to think about what you put into your mouth. It's a choice and how it's going to create the ease or disease or unease of the body at that cellular level. And that's when, it comes in. We talk about the different type of foods that you can eat.
Yeah.
From the processed foods, the whole foods.
Right.
I mean, you're big into that.
Very much so. I like to eat the fresh things, the stuff that's have a shelf life for years or months. I put it back
Well, and why is that?
because it's heavily processed
And
it's made to stay on the shelf. It's a great concept, and you would think processed food lasts a long time, or it should last a long time in your body and preserve your body, but it doesn't. It does the exact opposite.
where we look at fresh foods, the foods you pick off or fruit you pick off the tree right away, what does that have compared to those
It has
processed
the
foods?
nutrients that you need,
Yeah.
and it feeds your cellular at the cellular level. It feeds you. It gives you the energy you need. It gives you the ability for your body to heal itself if something, if there's some type of dip somewhere, your body could heal itself.
I mean, you're essentially taking something that's alive that has energy
Yeah, put it in your body so
as
you can have the
as
energy.
quickly as possible to give you the energy.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Whereas you get a Twinkie, it's empty. It's empty calories. There's no nutrients there. There's no life.
But Dr. Taj, it tastes so good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're used to eating that.
So does broccoli, I think. And so
Broccoli
does-
tastes amazing when you start to experience how your body feels by making this transformation, and you're like, man, my body's just off a little bit. And you have some broccoli, and you feel those nutrients rush into it. You're like, wow,
Feel good.
I needed that.
Yeah.
You can feel the difference.
Yeah.
It's being in tune with your body, as we've been talking about over this video series.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really building your cells. No, and it's a process. And when we see it all the time, we see people who make the deliberate decision to change the way they eat, and it transforms their life. I mean, we have many stories. I mean, you have anything on the top of your head of a transformation story that you can think of?
I mean, I see it, but even for myself personally, I feel like when I eat when when we had the girls, I felt like I put on a little bit of weight,
Hmm.
and then once I went back to the basics and eating fresh whole foods, I I did the detox cleanse, but I also cleansed with food.
Hmm.
The weight came off, and I felt amazing. I felt energy. Being able to run up and down the steps with the kids,
Hmm.
or run up and down the steps with kids in your hand, it's like you're out of breath, right?
Hmm.
And versus now, it's like run up and down with and go for hours, just
And
going.
you're older.
I'm older, yeah,
Yeah, and that's a good point. It's there's so many stories that we have to share. There's not one story that tells you the opposite story.
yeah.
And so I think the most powerful story is the fact that you had a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I had a transformation, the exact same thing. I remember running out, playing by the pool with our kids, and I could barely run. I'm just feeling all heavy, everything, my whole body's shaking, and I couldn't jump off into the pool. And I scraped my toe and bleeding, and cut it, I was holding it. I said, "Oh no, it's got to change."
Yeah.
You know, now we're what 7 years ago. It goes by so fast, and that's the power of the food
Food,
and
yeah,
medicine.
yeah,
You know, and that's what's working.
yeah. It's working for our clients, right? They're having a plant-based whole food diet, and they're enjoying it. Their
It,
taste buds have changed,
yep.
right? They no longer eat the crappy stuff, and it's like even now, if you go put semi crappy stuff in your mouth, you're like, ooh. Remember bread? You ate a piece of bread not a few days ago.
Yes.
We we're so busy, and I made burgers,
Yeah.
and I picked
Chickpea burgers.
I made some burgers, and I ran to the store and I picked up organic burger bread,
Yeah.
and you ate it. The girls, you guys ate it. And I think like the next day, I didn't have like homemade bread like I usually do. I didn't have time, and I think you took a slice of, not a slice, but one of the burger breads, just one piece to just chomp on it, and you're like, "Why is this so sweet?"
Mm-hmm.
You spit it out. You're like, "I can't eat this."
Mm-hmm. I look at the ingredients. I think the third ingredient was like sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah. I was like, why are you putting sugar in bread like that? You don't need to put sugar in bread.
If they said they need the sugar to feed the yeast, but you don't need that much sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah. It was so nasty. And that's what happens when you start to eat right. Your taste buds change. Your body adapts, and it
Yeah.
only starts yearning for the good things you really want to eat.
Yeah.
And it's a simple blueprint. It really is. And it comes down to no, that's the organic, plant-based whole foods.
Yeah. 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 And that's why I say I won't buy the bread again.
Yeah.
But it's like we prioritize raw fruits and vegetables and seeds and nuts on our plates, and we have at every meal at lunch, mainly at dinner because we don't really eat a lot of lunch.
No.
But mainly at dinner we have a salad.
Every meal.
Every meal we have a salad, right? During the
Without any kind of cheese, without any kind of store-bought salad dressing, 'cause that just ruins everything.
It does, and then all these other stuff you put on it. Well, I will say we do put seeds on ours, and I like the seeds, the pumpkin seeds, the hemp seeds, the flax seeds, the chia seeds. I throw it all in there, right? And that for me is my texture, my crunch on my salad.
It also gives you your essential fatty
Correct.
fats that you need
Correct.
without eating the fats.
Correct. So we prioritize, our fruits and our
It's a great tip.
vegetables, cooked and raw. And we have it on the plate
Yeah.
every day, and it's just no questions asked. And to this day, our girls know that the salad bowl is there. You're gonna get some,
And they scarf it down. They
Yes,
scarf
they
salad
do.
down now.
Yes.
So the whole notion about how kids won't eat healthy foods, well, no, that's because they've been trained to not eat the healthy foods.
Correct.
I think another thing that is a big thing that causes a lot of inflammation is dairy. So it's like limiting the processed foods, dairy, and even the refined sugars like in that bread.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oof, we'll never buy that again. But it's so funny though, because you have some influencers who are out there who talk a good game about how to exercise and prioritize your health and get sunshine and yada yada. But then they're promoting the dairy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a minute.
or a lot of meat,
A lot of meat.
contrary to the study,
Yes.
right? Which I think is a more of a quality study because it's more longitudinal for over 30 years, and they realize, hold up here.
But they're saying prioritize protein, and okay, fine, protein. But there's other ways to get protein. You don't necessarily need to have it in the meat, because if there's other forms of protein which I eat, especially at breakfast, and it keeps me full and content all day long. So I don't necessarily think
No.
it's the meat, but the dairy. It's so much inflammation with dairy and sugars.
Well, think about this. When you get sick, what happens to your energy levels?
It tips
It dips. And what does it dip? What your body's using what?
energy to keep you to fight off whatever is in you.
To heal,
Yeah.
right? And so you need energy to heal. What's the number one primary source of energy for the human body?
The food.
The macronutrients. So carbohydrates, fats, or protein.
Protein.
No,
No, carbohydrates. Sorry.
carbohydrates is the number
I gotta
one.
think for a second.
Carbohydrates is the number one macronutrient to give you energy. A lot of times we say carbohydrates, where they're thinking the simple sugars, ultra processed.
Yeah, you're thinking bread, not breads, but breads and crappy food.
All the crappy foods.
Yeah.
So that's number one. You got to get carbohydrates for the energy to heal. What's the second one?
In terms of the
Macronutrients.
macronutrients?
So not fats or protein. Energy source.
protein.
Nope. Energy source number two is fats.
Is it?
Fats.
I
Yes.
should know this.
Yes. And so fats is what your body will go to if you don't have enough carbohydrates in your system to get the energy it needs.
And then
Protein's number three.
Right.
So if you're trying to heal your body and you know you need energy, why are you going to jump to protein?
They've been sold. We've been sold this lie. I call it a lie, but they're saying that if you eat protein, it builds muscle, but also it gives you energy throughout the day. So you feel satiated and full longer.
Yeah, you're going through a whole process of ketosis, and ketosis is more of a survival mechanism of your body versus having a regular metabolism based upon carbohydrates and having the carbohydrates be distributed to your body by having the right whole plant-based foods, the fibrous vegetables.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we try to, they call it reductionism, try to reduce all of our nutrition down to a single little block that you can only have this type of certain protein,
Yeah.
what have you. No, it's a more holistic point of view. Yeah, you need some protein, but you need that much protein? No. You need some fat? Yeah, but you don't need how much fat you want me to eat. Do we need some carbohydrates? Yeah, a lot more than you're saying. But we need all of this stuff in the right proportions, in the right amounts, in the right combinations that will allow you to trigger that cellular repair.
Okay.
You follow me? That making sense, or did that go too fast? Sometimes I stumble and talk fast, and
Yeah, it's making sense.
my brain, goes faster than my lips sometimes.
I know.
So
So let's break this down further.
okay,
All
let's do
right.
it. Let's do it.
So in your day, when you eat, you start with what?
Yeah, it's hydration, and I think one thing people need to start with is just simple hydration. We just don't drink enough water. People believe they drink enough water. It's just
They say
not
they
true.
don't like water. They don't like the taste of it.
And water really has no taste. I think what water has is a refreshing mechanism that just makes you say, I needed that.
Yeah.
That's a taste I think that comes to my mind.
I feel like that's the only thing that will make me feel quenched, right? The only thing that will satisfy that dryness. When I get up when I wake up in the morning, and it's like that's the first thing I'm reaching for is water.
And that's exactly what I do. I wake up in the morning and I just hydrate. I drink a glass of water, then I work out.
Yeah.
But when we think about the foods reset, let's say to really break it down, like you said, first thing is you're just going to start your morning with like a lemon water hydration drink, perhaps.
Yep, that's what I do every morning. Yeah.
And there's other hydration drinks that we can give to our clients, what have you. But you can do that, and then and that will get your body kind of rehydrated from dehydrating over the night. And then you can have a green juice. I'm not talking about juice and then leaving all the fiber behind, but a green juice, because then that will really start to fuel your body with some of the nutrients that's been lacking and missing to kind of get it pumping and going in the right direction.
Right. And there's so many recipes out there that you can utilize, and that will keep you actually full for a little bit. That you wouldn't be reaching for the bad stuff. A
Yeah.
donut, a cinnamon roll.
Imagine if you were to do that on a continuous basis, water and the hydration drink and green juice versus the Pop Tarts, the
Right.
cereals, the Captain Crunches,
Right.
the Eggo waffles. What else is there? The donuts from Dunkin' Donuts,
Right.
the Starbucks that have 60 grams of sugar in them.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
All right, like when my daughter was studying for the SAT, or when she was studying for the SAT, on the test day, I would wake up
early.
wake up early to make her a good meal based upon starchy vegetables,
Yes.
right? Potatoes, some tofu, onions,
Greens.
mushrooms, stuff in there versus
greens,
having
yeah.
her eat a bowl of cereal and have a dump in the middle of the test. But
Yeah.
yet you're getting the proper energy from the carbohydrates, which
Kept her full and kept her going. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She came home and she's like, "Wow, I felt good."
more energy to burn, even though the exhausting test, and that's
Yeah.
where
Because then we went. She had a parade. She was in a parade and she had to walk 2 miles. And not once did she complain, say she was tired or anything.
fuel her
Yes.
body with the proper
Yes.
nutrition through food, living food. And just to kind of reiterate what I said, I kind of broke down the whole energy cascade of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Well, here's the deal. For carbohydrates, and I'm not talking about simple sugars, the Pop Tarts of the world. You want 75% of your plate to be the carbohydrates from living foods.
Yeah.
75%.
Yeah, so that's like your potatoes, and that's your beans, and your lentils, and your chickpeas, and sweet potatoes, and your vegetables, right? Your carrots, your mushrooms, your onions.
And this is where social media and all the haters out there will start screaming because, that leaves only 25% for protein and fat.
And you need 30% or 40%. Well, that, like we said before in another video, that comes with risks. Serious risks.
And plus, I want to know the people who are screaming all that stuff. I want to know
What their blood work look like.
Yeah, what's their definition of healthy? Are you on medications? Because if you eat a lot of meat, a carnivore diet, let me tell you, your cholesterol's through the roof. You are not getting all the minerals and vitamins that you do need. I mean, yeah, you get some, and I'm not talking about to avoid meat whatsoever, but if you're eating meat every single meal, every single day, then lastly, think about this. If you're not eating the proper nutrition and you're taking a lot of toxins in your body, how often are those toxins coming out in the form of the number 2? Not daily. I mean,
It clogs you up.
I hear sometimes twice a week, mainly one time a week.
One of my daughter's friends said that she hasn't gone in 3 days.
3 days.
She eats a lot of meat.
Some people don't go like maybe once or twice a month.
Oh my gosh.
So think about
That's sad.
how your body is just being stored of all the bad stuff because that's what
Toxins is
it's
floating
waste.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, gonna get that waste. So yeah, think about
So
that.
like, if you're in your shower and your shower is backed up and the water is not going,
Oh,
right?
it's all brown. Toes get dirty. It stinks.
Okay.
Moldy.
Okay.
Full of bacteria.
I'm talking about you
fungus.
taking a shower.
All that water is all
It's
toxic.
all backing up, right? And it's not going anywhere, right? You don't want to stand in that, do you?
No.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So that's huge. It's learning to eat more carbohydrates the right way. And a lot of people don't even know how to do that. And that's why we help a lot of people
Yes.
make a big change there. But what are some other simple swaps that we can do to kind of get people on the right path of going forward?
I know for our coffee lovers out there, I know we love a good cup of coffee, but maybe switch that out to some herbal green tea because herbal green tea is an antioxidant and you're going to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You'll get your caffeine fix and you'll get your antioxidants, right? I'm not saying cut coffee out completely, but you should make that transition where you're drinking more green tea than you are coffee.
Yeah. Video number 1, talk about mindset. Are you trying to heal or are you trying to create an ease or a disease?
Yeah.
I mean, It's your decision. It's a simple choice.
Yeah.
What's another?
I mean, I love bread, but I the
Not with
stuff
sugar.
that's not with sugar, not the stuff that they sell on the shelf out there with the long laundry list of ingredients. So instead of bread, try sprouted grains, right? Or you can do so like sprouted grains. I do sprouted quinoa, right? Instead of
Yeah.
sometimes I do oatmeal, steel cut oats, but then sometimes I switch it up and I do quinoa cereal.
You
Where you
know
cook
what?
it the same way. And
And if you're
it's,
concerned about getting all your protein and the essential proteins, quinoa has it all.
yeah, it does. And
All of it. Essential.
I will eat that quinoa cereal, right? Where basically I cook it the same way you cook oatmeal and add the
Wow.
same ingredients. And you'll eat a small bowl of that and you're good until dinner, right?
Nutrient dense.
Yeah, it's nutrient dense. And if you want to make your own bread, which I highly employ it, I suggest you do. We make our own bread. And it's so easy. And if you're interested in learning how to make your own bread, message me.
Yeah. Yeah. Bread's good. Really, really good. All right. That's two. Let's give them two more.
Okay, so instead of dairy, I would suggest nut milks. There's some some nut milks out there that have a lot of gums in it. I would avoid those. There are others that have very minimal ingredients. Go for those.
Yeah.
So
Um,
there's also instead of regular yogurt, there's dairy-free yogurts with the active live cultures. That's what you want. You don't want yogurt that just has all the sugars and the gums and everything and it says yogurt on the front. You want to read the ingredients and make sure it has the active live cultures in it.
yeah. No, like, all this stuff, like, that's a great point. Active cultures. I mean, this can all seem very overwhelming, and it can be because there's so much different ways to think about food. From 75% carbohydrates. Well, what's a good carbohydrate? How do I make a good carbohydrate? Now you're trying to tell me to have nut milks and dairy and make my own food, and yogurts and active culture. I mean, what does that all mean? Well, yeah, I mean, it's all about making these small changes.
Yes. Start small.
Just start small. Just make the change,
Yeah.
and that will have a massive impact. So the first way to get to the top of the ladder is taking that first step,
Yeah.
and then that's the first step.
Yeah, and you make it as intense as you want or as easy as you want. And it's the key is to stay organized, and that's why we're here to help.
Yeah, consistent.
So,
It's all about stay consistent and make the first step.
yeah. So are you ready to reset your cells?
Reset those cells. You got to reset those cells.
Yeah.
Well, check the description for our free resources. Like I said, DM her if you want some great recipes. So that's video number 2.
Yeah.
So next week we're gonna get into step 3 of our restore protocol.
Until next time, be well.
All right, take care.